students, I have written some examples of complex and compound sentences. Each sentence has two clauses, okay, and each clause is of past tense form, okay, whether it is in past simple or past progressive or past perfect tense, we have to learn, okay. Now see, before explaining how the past simple, past progressive and past perfect tense is used in clauses of compound and complex sentences, I want to tell you about the forms of the past simple, past progressive and past perfect tense. You see, past simple, here the verb form is past simple, that is V2. V2, second form of the verb, first form of the verb, past progressive, past progressive, was or were, plus verb ing. Okay? Now see, past perfect, past perfect, hard, plus PP or V3, PP or V3, third form of the verb. These are the forms of the past tense. Okay? In past simple, we can use the second form of the verb, that is past form of the verb. In past progressive, we can use was or were plus verb ing. Then in past perfect tense, we can use had plus PP form or third form of the verb. Now come to learn the examples, how different past form of tense is used in different clauses of compound and complex sentence. You see, first, while he was going to school, he saw an accident. Here, this is a complex sentence. This is one clause. This is another clause. While he was going to school, one clause, that is SC, subordinate clause. While is the subordinate or subordinate conjunction. He saw an accident. This is main clause. Here in the first clause, you see the forms of the first form of verb. In both cases, in both clauses, we find past tense form. Okay? Here you see, while he was going to school was verb ing. Past progressive form is used. Was verb ing, was going. He saw an accident. This is a V2. Second form of the verb. First form of the verb. Okay. Now, why such thing happens? In the first clause, you see, the subordinate clause, you see, while he was going to school, this is continuing action. As it was continuing in the past, it is also the past. Okay, it is the immediate shorter action, you know. Shorter action. This is longer action. This is longer action. Okay, was going. This is longer action, continuing action in the past. This is also past, but the shorter action. When something was going in the past, another event or another incident have immediately happened. Okay, this is the shorter action. For shorter action, we can use past simple form V2. For longer action, for continuing action in the past, we can use was, were, were. For third person he, we have used was plus were in the first. Are you clear? Now come to the second example. We were watching TV when my father arrived. We were watching TV. This is one clause. This is a when my father arrived, another clause. This is a C. Subordinate clause. When is the subordinator. This is complex sentence. You know, this is main clause. In the first clause you see we are watching. This is past progressive form. Okay, this is past progressive form. Where plus verb for we subject. Okay, where then we are watching. Now this is continuing action. We are watching TV. Okay, this is continuing. This is continuing action in the past. As it was continuing in the past, it takes past progressive form. This is longer action. Okay, continuing action. Here we see when my father arrived. This is the V2. This is shorter action. Okay, this is shorter action. This action immediately happened in the middle of the continuing action in the first. Both actions events are in the first, but it is the shorter action, but it is longer action. I will clear. Then come to from example 3. The train had left before I reached the station. The train had left before I reached the station. This one clause. This is another clause. The train had left. The first clause, main clause. Here this is the subordinate clause. Before is the subordinator. Subordinate conjunction. This is complex sentence. You know, here this is the text tense. Had left, had text tense. This is past form. Had plus PP. Here you see had plus PP or V3 or V3. Third form the verb. ING form. Fourth form the verb. Okay, non-finite verb. This finite verb. The train had left before I reached the station. Okay, here reached. This is the V2. Past simple. Okay, this is the immediate action. But in this sentence you see what happened in the past. Two actions or events happened in the past. But in this case, the train had left. The train had left before I reached the station. It means this incident, this action, this event in the past was already finished. Is already finished. This is the earlier action. You know, earlier action. It is a finished action. First it started. Okay, then the second action. This is second action. This is earlier action. This action happened later. Okay, after the train had left, train chali gala pore, I reached. Okay, before I reached the station, here reached the V2, the second form of the verb. Are you clear? This second incident, the second event, this is the first earlier event. Earlier event takes a past perfect, had plus PP. Second action, the latter action takes past simple form, that is V2. Here you come to fourth example. After he had heard his word, he took his breakfast. You see, this is one clause. After is the subordinator. This is subordinating conjunction. After he heard his word, this is subordinate clause. He took his breakfast. This is a main clause. Here you see heard. Okay, you see in the next clause, main clause. This is a V2. This is a had plus PP. Why such thing happened? Both actions events happened in the past, but this action happened earlier. This action happened later. You see, if the action happens earlier, it takes a hard plus PP. If the action happened later, okay, it takes a past simple. Okay, this happened. This action happened before this action. This action happened after this action. That's why it takes a V2 form, past simple form. Here it takes a past perfect tense form, past perfect hard plus PP. Are you clear? Now, this example 3 and 4 are similar type of examples. Example 1 and 2 are similar types of examples. Now see the fifth example. When the teacher entered in the class, all the students stood up. Now see, this is the subordinate clause. When is the subordinator or subordinative conjunction. You see, this is the main clause. All the students stood up. This is the main clause. You see, entered. This is V2. Stood up. This is V2. This is the second form of the verb. In both the cases, both events or actions happen in the past, but both the actions happened at the same time, approximately at the same time, or one after another, immediately, one followed to another, one followed to another. Okay, when the teacher entered into the class, all the students stood up. Okay, for that, this clause takes simple past form. This clause takes simple past form. This is simple past simple in both the cases. Now come to example 6. She entered into the room and closed the door. She entered into the room and closed the door. You see, this is some main clause. Okay, or this is an indefinite clause. This is indefinite clause, and is the coordinative conjunction. This is compound sentence, and is the coordinator. You see, enter. This is a V2. This is close. This is V2. In other clause, the verb takes as a past simple form. Here, this verb takes past simple form. Why such thing happens? Because both the actions or events, though they happened the first, but they happened immediately at the same time, approximately at the same time, one followed to another. Okay, she entered into the room and closed the door. You see, example 7. My mother was cooking. I was reading. Okay, this is also compound sentence, and this is the coordinative conjunction. You see, this is was verb ing. This is was verb ing. Okay, this is a past progressive form. This is past progressive form. Okay, now this is verb ing. Okay, this is verb ing. Okay, why such thing happens? Why in both the cases past progressive forms are used? Okay, my mother was cooking. The cooking was continuing in the past. It was continuing action. For continuing action, we can use past progressive form, but simultaneously another event was also going on. That was reading. I was reading. My reading was continuing. Okay, while my mother was cooking, I was also reading. Here, my mother was cooking and I was reading. Okay, in both the cases, simultaneously two actions or two events were happening or continuing. For that, two clauses take past progressive tense. You see, last example, I was working while he was sleeping. Okay, I was working while he was sleeping. Now see, this is was working, he was sleeping, Here, this is complex sentence. While, This is subordinating conjunction. While you were sleeping, this subordinate clause. I was working, this is main clause. As this complex sentence, there are two clauses. Both clauses take first form of verbs as the events or actions happen in the past, but two actions are continuing action. Okay, they are simultaneously continuing. Okay, here as working, he's working. He was busy in working. It means continuing action. That he was sleeping. He was sleeping. Means his sleeping was continuing. For that, we have used here was verb ing, was plus verb. This is past progressive. This is past progressive.